Hey guys, what's up? Reese here. I've got a brand new shoe pickup to bring you. What we're looking at is the Nike Lunar Flyknit Chukka in the Deep Burgundy, Black, Bright Crimson, and Sail colorway. This shoe retails for $170 and was released in September, although there were places where you could actually pick up this colorway as early as July. This is a really neat shoe. If you've seen any of my other videos, you might have seen that I also have the Nike Lunar Flyknit 1, which is kind of a low top running style, but it's very similar to this. It's the same Flyknit. It's got this similar Lunar Line outsole. And I picked up that pair a couple months ago, and I love how comfortable those are. They just feel really good on feet, and they look really sharp. So I jumped at the opportunity to pick up a pair of the higher Chukkas. And one thing that I noticed right off the bat that was interesting to me, I just did a little hand weight comparison. And even though these are a higher build and you would assume that they would weigh more, there's actually, the Flyknit 1 has a little bit of padding around the collar just to kind of give you a little more support back there. But these, you basically just have the Flyknit upper and that's it. And because these are lacking that padding, they actually weigh a little bit less, which is weird considering the higher silhouette. But it's kind of cool just to think about. You know, this is a fantastic looking shoe, especially going into fall. I just kind of see it as a fall style, especially with this colorway. It's actually pretty similar to a colorway they released of this shoe earlier this year. That was a university red colorway, and again, it was just a very predominantly red upper. The biggest difference, other than the shades of red between the two shoes, are that this features these flywire channels that are a deep burgundy, but on the university red colorway, those were actually also university red, so there wasn't nearly as much contrast on that pair as there is here. You know, these lines really kind of help to break up the upper, which I think is a very neat look. So let's take a close-up look now. We'll kind of go through colors and materials and what all is going on in the shoe. Here we go with our close-up look of the Nike Lunar Flyknit Chukka. Just take a look at one shoe here. For your upper, the Flyknit construction, what you've got is a mix of bright crimson and deep burgundy knit together. And so you can see there's kind of like those splotches of darker areas, and those are the deep burgundy. There's actually a lot more than what's even showing up on the camera. And so basically kind of the mix of those two colors gives it a fairly neutral red look overall. It just kind of looks like your typical red almost. And you know, from afar they really just look like a red shoe, but it's when you get closer that you can really start to see all the little details with the knitting. And that's what I love about the Flyknit uppers, is they really have that opportunity to give it a really cool, just unique look. And because, you know, each shoe kind of looks a little bit different just because of the knitting pattern. And so it's something that comes off really well because it keeps, especially with this colorway, it keeps the shoe fairly subtle, but yet it's still got that nice pop just from the bright crimson. It really adds in a nice deep red color. You've got your black swoosh on both the outside and the inside, and again, that's just knit in there. It's not painted on top, it's not layered on top in any way, it's just part of the actual knitting. If we come over here and look at the side, the first thing you'll notice is there's right there, there, and there, the weave pattern is a lot looser. It kind of gives it more of a mesh look, and that just adds a little bit of breathability to the shoe. You've got then these flywire channels running all up along here that are in deep burgundy, which help just kind of break up the shoe and just kind of section it off and give it a neat look on the upper. And then as you can see, there's little windows there in those channels, and then looping around there you can see the bright crimson flywire. If we flip around to the back, you've got the heel tab in black with a little pull right here. Coming around to the front then, oops, there we go. For the laces, you've got black laces, and unlike the Flyknit Lunar 1, these have just your normal oval laces as opposed to the flat laces on the Lunar 1, which just kind of help translate over to the more lifestyle appeal of this shoe. You've got a deep burgundy tongue, and up here on the tag, you've got Nike spelled out in bright crimson, and below it says Flyknit Chukka in white. If we take a look inside the shoe, as I mentioned earlier, these really have no padding around here other than just the knit upper, which sheds a ton of weight on this shoe and keeps it extremely lightweight. If you look inside the shoe, we've got a bright crimson insole, with the Nike and swoosh down in there in black. Now if we look at the midsole, this is another area where the shoe differs from the Flyknit Lunar 1, because on the Lunar 1, the midsole is generally two colors. Of Lunar, you'll have like an upper and then a lower, and they'll be split into two different colors, but this is all just like one unit. If we come over here, Lunar Lawn is spelled out right there in black, and it just gives it a nice, clean look, because again, this is really more of a lifestyle shoe, as opposed to the kind of athletic basis for the Flyknit Lunar 1. And this outsole is Sail, which you can think of as kind of like an off-white, which I think looks really good. I wouldn't actually like this shoe nearly as much if it were just that bright white. It would just kind of stand out weird. Flipping here to the outsole, you can see there's the swoosh right there, but it does not have the plus. These are not Nike Plus enabled, which again is just another allusion to the fact that this is more of just a casual wear shoe. But for the most part, you've got your Sail outsole with these black traction pods. And that about does it for the shoe. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I would definitely recommend picking up a pair of the Chukkas, especially going into fall. This to me just seems like the perfect pair for that. They're extremely comfortable. One of the most comfortable pairs of shoes I own. They're incredibly lightweight. Considering the fact that they're actually lighter than my Lunar Flyknit, or my Flyknit Lunar 1s, I would actually have to say that this is the lightest pair of shoes I own. They look great, so I would definitely recommend this shoe. Thanks for checking this out, guys, and have a great day.